the very first online meeting of the TESOL methodology course. TESOL methodology course. And this course is organized by the TESOL Association and sponsored by the Regional English Language Office, Relo Vietnam. And I'm really excited to see that we're having around, 100 teachers joining us at the moment. And I hope that we'll be having a very productive meeting with various engaging discussions on Module 1, Teaching English as a Second Language. And now let me introduce our facilitators who will be sharing their knowledge and expertise with us tonight. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Ms. Trần Thị Xuân Đài from the University of Da Nang. Could you please type number 2 in the chat box to say hello to her? All right, so we could see Ms. Dai here. Good to see you, Ms. Dai. And I hope that you are doing well tonight. Oh, yeah, I can see you are waving at us. Thank you. And we also have Mr. Văn Thái Hoàng from Quế Phong High School. Please, everyone, type number 8 in the chat box to welcome Mr. Hoàng. Thank you so much, Ms. Dai and Mr. Huang, for joining us tonight. And everybody, before we begin, let me quickly provide you with some key information about the course to ensure that you don't miss anything, all right? Firstly, please make sure that you complete 5 modules before the 15th of September to obtain a certificate by TESOL and Relo Vietnam. Secondly, there are 5 online meetings throughout the course. Please take note of the days so you won't miss any of them. And if you have any other questions about the course, please let us know in the chat box. Thank you so much, everybody. And more importantly, to ensure the engaging section with our facilitators, we would like to introduce 3 house rules for the online meeting. Firstly, as you might see on the screen, please have your camera on through the section, because when the facilitators could see your face, they will have more energy to lead the section. So everyone, could you please help us by turning on your camera right now? Okay, let me see on the Zoom. Wow, I can see your face, Miss Phạm Anh, Miss Uyên Đinh, good to see you here. Miss Anna too. Wow, okay. Thank you so much. I can see a lot of more faces. That's wonderful. And for the second thing, if you wish to share your opinions, please use the raise hand button on the Zoom taskbar, or you can share your thoughts with us in the chat box, all right? And last, but certainly not least, we encourage you to actively engage in the discussions with us facilitators, because I'm pretty sure that Ms. Dai and Mr. Huang would greatly appreciate hearing more from you. And now, without any further ado, let's just dive into the exciting work of TESOL methodology with our facilitators, Ms. Xuân Đài and Mr. Thái Hoàng. So everybody, please type number 5 in the chat box to welcome them. Okay, and Ms. Dai and Mr. Huang, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you this evening. Firstly, we have a warm-up activity. We will send you a link on slido.com. Now you have to enter the Slido and you will answer some opening questions.
Before we start, I will be going through the agenda for the session today. So first of all, Quỳnh, could you mind if I share the screen now? Is it okay that I share the screen now?
Yeah, let me just make you as a co-host, okay?
Yeah, yes, please.
I can see your screen right now.
Great. All right, brilliant. So good evening, everyone. And it is my great honor to kick off the first modules. And I am Dai Xuân Đài. I'm from the University of Da Nang. And the co-host, co-facilitator with me today is Mr. Văn Thái Hoàng from Quế Phong High School. Before we start, it is I'm very grateful for your time today to spend your evening with us and to share. And we hope that through this session, we learn a lot from you as well. So the agenda for today, as Quinn introduced, we are going to go through the module 1, English, teaching English as an international language. So for an hour, we are going to have the warm-up activities to start our session with Mr. Huang. Following that session, we will have a recap of English as an international language, where we'll see English as a global language in the context of today. At the end of this session, we are going to have a quiz for you, and hope that you will be joining the quiz. And at the end of the session 1, recap 1, we will continue with types of culture and then cultural materials. At the end of recap 2, we expect you, the participant, to turn on your camera, and then we will have a group photo at that time. So after the group photo, we will have a reflections. We would like to hear in this session how culture is taught in your teaching. And then at the end of this session, we come to an end. So that is a brief overview of what we will be doing for the session today. Is everyone with me? If you are still with me, please type 1 in the chat box, please. So now I would like to hand over the stage to Mr. Huang to start our session today with warm-up activities. Over to you, Huang.
Now, can you see on the screen? You click slido.com and click the passcode to answer opening questions related to our topic today, teaching English as an international language. You can find this link in the chat box. Can I share the screen of the Slido? Now you enter the slido.com and I will send this event for answer. I have seen some answer here for many different purposes, of course, such as work, studying abroad, and so on. People learn English because it's a universal language. People learn for many goals, traveling, communicating, studying a specific subject, or learning new things abroad. American English and British English. Thank you. They want to study overseas, for skill, international language, integrate new worlds, become global citizens. Thank you so much. They learn English for their study, for work, for traveling, for fun. They want to study overseas, an international language, to get well-paid job, study abroad, learn more cultures, travel to other countries, level students, start to learn English because it's happy time after work. Wow. Learning English as a fancy subject at school, learning for the career promotion. Learn English because they want to promote work career, teaching in business English, general English, and academic English. Wow. The reason for learning English is a widely spoken language in the world, opportunity for people in terms of career advancement, higher education, In the classroom, I teach different variety of English depending on the need and goal of my students. Most of them
Mr. Huang,
speak American
sorry for
English.
interrupting.
Okay.
It seems that the
Yeah.
sound is not very clear from your side. Can you speak louder or can you check the sound, please?
Can you hear clearly? Can you hear it clearly? Wow, there are a number of answers related to our opening questions. A lot of different reasons for learning English. Thank you so much. And now it's time to start with this dive. I will stop there and do one of activities. Thank you. Miss Dai, can you share your screen and continue?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Huang, for the activities. So this is to show that English has been used for a variety of purposes. So in this session, if you can remember in the module 1, the purpose, the learning objective of module 1 is that we will be exploring English as an international language. And the second learning objective of module 1 is to explore the approaches to teaching culture to different in a global context. So I will be starting to review or reinforce what we have covered in the first session, English as an international language. So as you can see, these days, English has, as a global language, English has been spoken all over the world. David Crystal, a British linguistic, has established that English is used as either the first language and second language in a variety of contexts by people of all different nations across the continents. He also, in his book, The World Englishes, in 1997, he also identified that English is the language of science and technology and globally. And it is the language that is used in international organizations for traveling and for the internet. So I think anyone here in this room know any international organization that used English? If yes, can you please type some of the names of the international organization, or just raise your hand to answer, please. Yeah, Mỹ Trang, Phương, can you facilitate to open the mic for Mỹ Trang?
Okay, hello everyone. So I am very happy to meet you here. So the first international organization that came up into my mind when I think about English, that is the United Nations.
Yeah, exactly. Apart from that, do anyone here in this room know any other international organization that use English as the language of communication at work, please? I can see that in the chat box, there are a few names coming up. Like Google, Microsoft. Yeah, exactly. So I used to work for Plan International, for several NGO in Vietnam. Then English has been used quite popular and as an official language. So, oops. Somehow, sorry, because I think somehow my somehow I cannot share my screen.
You are still sharing the screen.
Okay, yeah. All right, back on board now. So just when I look for on the internet, on Wikipedia, and this is the list of the country where English is used as an official language. You can see that there are 88 countries in the world use English as an official language. So it is used across the continents around the globe. So to explain this, Krachu have used a circle. Krachu, we call it Krachu's concentric circle, 3 concentric circle, in 1989 to explain the and this model of 3 concentric models provides a way of look at the expansions and the use of English as the second language and as a foreign language. So this circle provide and give us the illustration of the 3 levels of concentric circle. The inner circle is where English is used as the primary language of the country. So in this circle, English is used in the USA, the UK. Can you name some other countries where English is considered is used in these countries? The English is used as a primary language in this country. Can you name a few? So I think I see on the screen we have Canada, New Zealand, some part of Canada, South Africa, exactly. Yeah, and another circle is the outer circle. The outer circle is English serves as the second language in a multicultural country. So for example, India, Singapore, Pakistan, can you name some other countries where English is spoken as a second language? Yeah, you see Malaysia, India, the Philippines. Yeah, exactly. That's right. So, and then we have the expanding circle. The expanding circle where English is widely studied as a foreign language. So Krachu circle was developed in 1989. And this explained, as I mentioned to you, the expansion and the use of English as a second language and a foreign language. And then from then, let me see. Why can't I move to the next slide? Okay, then today, but that was the theory developed in 1986, 89. And there are some limitation to this model. And so I think in this session, I'm not going to go further into discussion, the limitations and what could be more about this, the 3 concentric model of Krachu. So today, the English is used worldwide as an international language by both on inner, outer, and the expanding circle. So it is not simply the use of language as the second and foreign language, but as an international language. All right. So just to give this, just to give you an indication. So why it is called an international language? When you look at this map, what comes up to your mind? The word come up to your mind is, I see on the screen, I put it IELTS. Do you know what is IELTS stand for? Anyone know what is IELTS stand for? Popular, someone put it popular. Jang, Can you tell me what is IELTS stands for? Well, I can see that on the screen, International English Language Testing System. So you can see that this and the map, when you see this map, what comes up to your mind? What do you think it is? What does it shows you? What do you think? When you see this map, it's pervasive, the whole world. English is a global language, widely accepted at the expansion of IELTS. So this is to show you that English IELTS is not accepted around the world, but this map show you that IELTS has its location and the exams around the world. The red on the screen show you the places where IELTS has its location and office around the world. Can you guess how many countries? Can you guess how many countries that IELTS has been located in the world? If you look at the map, just to give you an indication, you know how many countries around the world are? So I see 120, more than 140, guess around 140. Yeah, exactly. So we have 190 countries in the world, and 140 countries have the presence of IELTS. So this is just to show you that the English is now accepted around the world, and it is become a global language, and it is one of the three largest language in the world. So as a language teacher, we are teaching one of the three largest, the three languages that have the largest population of language user around the globe. So in the next activities, just to recap what we have studied about the inner, the outer circles, and what and the expanding circle, I'm going to give you an activities on quizzes. So I would like you to go to this. Could you please go to quizzes, my quizzes, and join the activities by enter the code 143400. You can also go to the chat box to go to the link. So I've seen that we have already got 17, 19 people sign up. So we will wait for 2 more minutes. Come on, we have already got 60 people joining the quiz. All right. So we have 10 minutes left. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I will start the quiz now. Let's start.
Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I will start. I'm sorry for disruption. Now I would like to share you with culture in English teaching. There has been many debates among researchers and practitioners about the inclusion of culture in the language classroom. According to Beaker, 1994, the seven attempts to address this question found necessary to
All right. Okay. So let's get back to our main screen, and we get back to our presentation. I've seen the scoreboard. If you can see my scoreboard, congratulates Mr. Quang Lưu and Lê Thị Mỹ Trang and Chúc Quỳnh. You are the first winner is Quang Lưu, and the second winner is Lê Thị Mỹ Trang, and the third one, the third is Miss Chúc Quỳnh. Congratulates for your activities. So through these activities, I hope that you can have a better understanding and statistic about the English as a global language. So what does that mean? What is the implication from that activities or from the module 1 where I would like to learn about the English as the international language? So you can see that in the past, English was associated with the culture of the inner circle countries only. So if you see the textbook, we call it authentic materials, it has to be taken from the English, we call it English speaking countries, the native speaker from the US, from the English, from England only. So now we know that it is an international language, the speaker with across the globe. So English belongs to the owner and it includes the cultures of its many speakers. So the emphasis is that it belongs to those who use it and include the cultures of its many users. So that's when culture come to the place. In the next session, I would like to hand over to Huang to talk to you more in details about the second content of the module 1 on type of culture. So over to you, Huang.
Thank you.
Would you like to share the screen, please? I will stop sharing.
Mr. Huang, can you check your sound system? We cannot hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear?
Not really.
I follow up the microphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It is better, but yeah, can you try to speak louder?
Okay, there has been many debates among researchers and linguists about how to improve culture in language classroom. A speaker in 1994 attempted to address the question how necessary to learn a language is learning cultural integration, but to point out the deeper mistake respectfully how the English learner can successfully learn the target language the same as learner who has integrated orientation. The next debate about Bennett and how not to be fluent food. Just one-to-one who does not know the culture of the language is such a fluent food, and prevent this need to understand the dimensions of the language.
Mr. Huang, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the audience can hardly hear you. So can you try to unplug your earphones, or if you use your earphones, can you put your fingers away from the mic so that we can hear you better? Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me clearly? Okay. Now I
Thank you.
start. I will continue. According to Kelly Chaka, according to Kelly Chaka, authentic material and culture content in EFL classroom is that learning a culture does not mean accepting that culture and abandoning of native culture. So learners are familiarized with the cultural differences without attempt to keep up their own cultural values. The definition of culture, according to Hammerly in 2001, has a scheme in which there are three categories of culture. The first one is information or factual culture. The second one is behavioral culture. And the third one is achievement and accomplishment culture. Culture is what people created or did through us music literature, and it's been the way we develop our perception by our beliefs, value, attitude system, and our worldview, our social organization. Here in the picture, these are the different fields of culture: attitudes, belief, language, custom, rituals, behavior, faith, religion, food. The importance of teaching culture, apart from teaching the soft skill, listening, speaking, writing, and reading, culture is an essential part to learner of English because it's an international language. We use it in multicultural context. Uh, the teaching culture helps students be aware of the cultural facts so they can familiarize with cognitive related to culture, especially they can understand the behavior of country citizens in the context working with multinational companies and colleges. The culture of the target country is important. Now the first one. I have students aware of conventional behaviors in common situation in the target country. In design from approaching their local conventional behavior in one's country, and when approaching other culture, they should be aware of some characteristics and actions to deal with cultural barrier. Have students increase their insight into cultural connotations of words and phrases in the target language. In this term, they have the language to express in different type of breaking section, giving advice, compliment as well, etc. Have students to develop the ability to evaluate, define, generation about target culture in terms of supporting evidence. When experiencing a new culture, they have to evaluate, they have to refine their knowledge about the culture and share their experience with peers. Have students to develop necessary skills to locate and organize target culture, and stimulate students' intellectual curiosity about the target culture and encourage empathy towards these people. And how culture is taught in teaching material. In this part, we will discuss later. But before we now you can see it on the screen 3 types of cultural material. The first one is soft cultural material. The second one, target cultural material, and the third one, international cultural material. The soft cultural material reflect learners' own culture as content, and the target culture, they use culture of a country where English is spoken as a first language, and international cultural material uses a variety of culture in English and non-English speaking countries around the world. This can be seen in different types of materials in English published by different publishers. As you can see here, this is a square on the screen. This diagram is in relation to these 3 types of material: the inner circle, outer circle, and expanding circle. This is a reflection of Mackay in 2002. The evidence clearly that the view of English as international language will continue to grow. that belong and not just to native speaker, but to owner user. It's okay. Now you can see, now I can provide you a sample of cultural characteristic in some textbook. On the left column, the first column is the name of the textbook. The second column is a question English speaking country, speaking culture about in terms of USA, New Zealand, England, Canada, and the third column is about the other culture, Korea, China, Kenya, Brazil. Now I would like you to discuss in the chat box. Can you share some type of cultural material appeared in the English textbook used in your school? I look forward to seeing the reply in the chat box.
Mr. Huang, can you send the question to the chat box so everyone can fully understand what you want us to do?
Okay, now can you provide the answer for the first questions? How to take book or other teaching material present cultures? Do they show on 3 levels of culture? Now you can type in the chat box or you can open the microphone to share. Wow, thank you, Ms. Chang. Malaysia, especially KLCC Power appear in this book at school. Thank you so much. I look forward to other replies.
Please feel free to raise your hand if you want to share with all the participants of the meeting.
Do on the textbook, so on 3 levels of culture. You can, Ms. Chang, can you share your answer?
Okay, so I will give an example. A few months ago, when I was still working in Malaysia, I checked through some books in the bookstore in Malaysia. I saw that the English books in Malaysia, they showcase the Malaysia culture very well, especially because they are a multicultural and multi-ethical country. So they try to teach the student not only about Malaysia as a country, but about a lot of races, such as Chinese, India, and Malaysia people. So I think it is very great that the young students, they start to develop a very big mindset since there was a child.
Thank you so much. I can see the answer from Ms. Nguyệt Ánh. Most of the time, a graduated English textbook tend to relate to major country of the region, might be India, Malaysia, Singapore, or Asia. Thank you. So how about Vietnamese culture? Is integrated into EFL textbook. Very fair. Any other answer? English 8. Thank you. Website View Cambridge book are now more diverse and also include countries like ours. Maybe mentions the name like Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi. Global success.
Well, I would like on this questions, I would like to share some of my observation. Well, in the course book of MOET from grade 1 to 12, it currently, I think there has been a shift from the content in the book. And as you can see that recently, there are more books from Cambridge and from Macmillan who work very closely with MOET, with Ministry of Education and Training to produce the course book that can integrate the culture of the Vietnamese culture. And those textbooks are produced for the Vietnam market only. So, and they have the global version where a variety of culture have been included in the course book. I saw in the chat box here, you mentioned some book from Nat Geo. Right, I think I've seen that series as well. They included so many cultural lessons from many countries across the world. If you look at the new collection of books of ESL book from Oxford, from Cambridge, and from Nat Geo, they have been trying to include the contents from non-native English from inner circle countries by excluding included more culture from the outer circle.
Yeah,
So just one of my
yeah,
sharing.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I agree with you. National Geographic and other famous publishers encourage cultural integration through videos, and they can have students can have a different type of tasks related to the learning material to develop their expertise. Thank you. And now the next one. As an English teacher, as a teacher of English at international language, how the idea we discussed affects the way you approach teaching language and culture? Can you enter the Padlet and share your idea on how we can teach culture effectively? Thank you. Now I will share the link. I will put the link in the chat box. Now you can enter the link Padlet to share your ideas on how to teach culture effectively. Okay, I am sharing the link Padlet, and I'm looking forward to seeing your answer.
Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the session, this session is for us to share our ideas. This is not like a teaching or a coaching lessons or whatever. It is more or less a platform for us to share, for the teachers here to share our ideas, our practice, and we as an organization board, we would hope that you will contribute your ideas to our discussions either online right now by open your mic to share, or put your sharing on the Padlet, please. Thank you.
The World's map highlights similarities and differences. These reading materials on food cultures. Thank you. That's great answer. Cultural topic textbook may include dedicated section and chapter explore various cultural topics. They can cover area, greeting custom, food and cuisine, museum, holiday, festival, tradition, clothes, and music. Wow, interesting. Also, video clip about food. Let's see some explore about Thai specialty. Thank you. Do video, do newspaper, do story. Use Google Maps highlight to good prospect in the class exchange student. A quiet student create a poster. Wow. To present student cultural identity and explore country culture. Teaching culture lesson effectively require careful planning and implementation. It's important you variety sources. Thank you. Bring tangible things that's presented. We need to foster cultural empathy as well as promote active learning in class. As a new teacher, I don't have much experience, but I often recommend some famous song in US. Thank you. As a Vietnamese teaching English, why don't you let students share either pieces on provincial level that can prepare them for future where they can still work? Thank you. The cultural consolidation is help to encourage students to compare and test the culture. This is time is a test. Also find it. Someone who is typing the answer. Role play and real life scenario. That in visual imagine. Example, say stimulate conversation at a restaurant in the workplace. Thank you for your answer. And now I want to back our session. Can you see the screen? After the sharing, and I want to share some 5 principles of intercultural language learning. That is active construction. Active construction. It improves purposeful engagement in the teaching and interaction with each other. In terms of making connections, language and culture are related. New concept and existing concept to be compared, as you mentioned. Language and thinking. When learning the culture, the critical thinking and the brainstorming ability student will be developed. The first language and the language.
Mr. Hoàng, your voice is fading away again. Can you stay closer to the computer and speak louder?
Yeah, can you hear clearly? The first language and the target language are operated simultaneously. In terms of interaction, learners continuously learn and build from interacting experience. In terms of reflection, still after having the culture, they can be aware of and learn about the language, the culture, and their relationship. in terms of responsibility, students depend on they can have better attitudes, disposition, and value awareness. Here are some sources for creating cultural texture. The first one, information sources. You can find it on internet, CD video, magazines, and sort of authentic materials. And activity time can be conducted in quizzes, talk, discussion, role play, drama, crafts, hand-on practice, and so on. Field trip writing project and selling point, selling different views and culture to your students, material and activity in different aspects of culture. That is my sharing on the culture in teaching English and international language. And now, thank you for listening. Now I want you, Miss Dai, to continue the session.
Well, thank you, Huang, for your sharing and on the approaches and on how to teach culture in the context of English as a global language. Well, I think that's almost come to the end of our sharing sessions for the module 1. Before I close the session, we would like to have a group photo of all the participants today. So may I ask you to turn on your camera and look straight to the screen so that the organizer will take a group photo of all the wonderful participants of the event today.
Okay, I can see so many beautiful faces here. Can you help me to say cheese? And we can capture some great moments of the online meeting 1 with Miss Sundai and also Mr. Huang. But please don't leave the meeting since we're still having something fun at the end of the section, okay? So Huang, you want to take a group photo for all of us?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Sure. Say cheese, everybody. Oh, what a pity. So Anho, you don't have the camera on your computer. Maybe next time, all right? Another short. Yeah, we're on the right track. Wow, so many smiley faces here.
Keep looking at the screen and keep saying cheese.
Yeah, since we're having
keep
5
smiling,
minutes.
please.
Just say cheese. Happy.
Can everybody, can you put the icon apart on reaction button to have one more photo?
Oh, great idea. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one more teacher coming in. I think it's just the right time to join the meeting since we're having some really great group photos with everybody here. Okay, are we good? Well,
Thank you so much for attending our webinar today, and I hope that after the webinar you can have some meaningful insight and sharing, cascading with peers on social media and so colleges at school.
thank you so much, Mr. Huang. What about Ms. Dai? Do you have anything else that you want to share with the participants? You can unmute yourself first. Hello, Ms. Dai. Yes.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Well, so again, thank you very much for your time for today. So as you can see in the first module, we explored about English as an international language, and we also listened to the sharings and from Mr. Huang and from our wonderful participants today on the approaches and also the way how you have included culture into your teaching for the different global context. So at the end of this meeting, I think there will be still several questions on EIL, English as an international language, because I think the ideas of English as a global language is still quite new to many of us. And then I think we just embrace the trend, the new trend, and then see how we can adapt and adjust to our teaching. So that's come to the end of and this is just food for thought. I think we keep thinking about that in our teaching career and how we update and change, make change to our teaching approaches. So just before we finish the session today, I would like to remind that we're going to have 5 modules, and the next meeting, online meeting, will be scheduled on Sunday, 30th of July. I hope that you will sign up, and the organizer, Ms. Quỳnh and Phương, will be sharing with you the information for the upcoming sessions. And please sign up for that for the next meeting. So again, thank you very much for your time, and wishing you the nice evening.
Okay, well, I really want to say thank you, and I want to express the sincere appreciation to all the participants here. We're having around 150 people joining us, and certainly you can see that our facilitators today are very dedicated, and we just want to say thank you so much for making the section today a very good one. And we hope to see you the Sunday after next at the 30th of July for the second online meeting on the TESOL methodology. So if you have any further questions, you can stay here and discuss with our facilitators. But if you don't have anything, you can leave now because we are coming to an end of the section today. So we hope to see you next time. Goodbye and have a good night.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining with us.
Bye.
If you have anything that you want to discuss further, just stay here. We are all ears. Yeah, we're still here. And we're willing to discuss more if you want to have more discussions after the section.